Hey guys, it's DragonWolf here, and today for you we have got the comparison of two monstrous laptops. The contender for this year's Ultimate Beast laptop, the ASUS Strix Scar 18 2025, and the Beast laptop of last year, the ASUS Strix Scar 2024. Now, will the change in CPUs, the new mobile CPUs, make a difference against the old Intel 1400 series? Who knows? And will that monstrous RTX 5090 in its mobile edition form be enough to show a sizable difference against last year's mobile edition of the 1490? Who knows? Who knows? But we're going to test all that out using a video game I love, which is Victoria 3. So sit back, grab a snack, grab a drink, kick your feet up multiple, have fun, and look forward to all that is to come. Right then. So all this racket you can hear is because there's two extremely powerful gaming laptops running at the highest graphics settings that they possibly can. I might have to check that, but that's what I'm going to say. And, running a video game. And it's a very intensive video game for them, known as Victoria 3. Now, it's the best one to do by side-by-side comparison. I say side-by-side, across from each other comparison, because it's a game I can just press play on and see what happens, see how it runs. Okay, so we're going to do a few tests. We're going to test the brightness of the screens, the way the game looks and feels, and we're obviously going to test the speed and performance of the game and the brightness of the screen, audio levels, test the speakers against each other. Yeah, they've both got the same RAM, 64 gigabytes of RAM. Both running at 5,600 megabytes per second. However, they've obviously got, one's got the Intel i9 1400900 HX, and one has the Intel U9 275HX. So this one's got a bit better performance in its one, from what I've read online. Apparently the 1400 series has a tiny bit better performance, whereas the U9 is more for, battery saving and multi-threading and, better performance when not plugged in. So we'll see how they compare, considering Victoria 3 is a CPU intensive game. But obviously then the big difference is one has got the 490 mobile and one has the 5090 mobile. That is the GPU, the NVIDIA graphics card. So let's see how they compare. Does the new one, with its fancy new design, its sleekness, its brighter screen, defeat the old but tried and tested one with the old Intel 1400 in it? Let's have a look, shall we? Right then. So Victoria 3 then, you can just about make it out. If I go over in, this is a very, very bright screen. I don't know if I've got something different in my game settings for the aesthetic, but the game looks completely different in terms of when it's zoomed out in this mode, where you're just looking at the colours of each country, each nation. I'm playing as Germany, by the way. That big German Empire block in the middle there. We've got a few mods running that adds a lot of things to the game that interact with pop, so it makes it even more of an intensive strain on the CPU and GPU that you got going on here. Yeah, so this is the world view. If you don't know what Victoria 3 is, it's an economic simulator, I would say, where war is used as economy. You basically manage your pops, conquer the world if you want to do world domination, have subjects and manage their population needs. But that's enough about the game. As you can see, looks good scrolling in and out like that. We can go right in there, get a good look at the thing. I think we should look at Berlin. Let's look at Berlin. So this is a good look at Berlin. So you can see the housing and the simulated factories and the railroads going on there. And you zoom around about here, you get a terrain look. And over here you get the color look. So that's on the new 2025 Strix Scar 18. That's the brightness and how the graphics look. Let's just verify the graphics settings, make sure everything is actually running at peak setting, peak performance. So graphics, render scale, high, ultra, fraction quality. Let's turn that to high. 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 I don't know what's this do? Depth of, I have no idea what any of that should do, but we're going to set everything to high. Right. So we've set all that to high now. So that's what that looks like. Let's go and have a look at the other one then. So let me know what your thoughts and feelings are about the way that looked on, and then let me know what your thoughts and feelings are about how this is going to look. So you can see that one's behind me. This one's in front of me, sat on a box. So this is how it's been relegated to sat on a box, loading files across for the other one to receive. And then we're going to take the RAM out of it, replace it with its standard RAM, put its factory SSDs back into it, but you know, log out of everything in here, wipe everything, reset it, take the SSD out, send it back to Amazon hopefully. But yeah, this is how it looks on here. Now both have max brightness on, bear that in mind, and both are set to dark mode on system. You can already see this is duller. This is a lot duller. Now the screen isn't clean by any mind. I shouldn't wipe my hand across the screen like that, but you get a sense that the screen is not clean. But it's not that unclean that it's going to affect the brightness by this much. So just verify the brightness. If I pull up Windows there, you see the brightness is indeed to max. But it might be the graphics settings that might be also doing some harm to this. Right. I don't know what that does. Let's set that up to ultra, high, 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 high. Right. Oh, don't break. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. It's not happy with taking those settings. Okay, no, we're okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay, I feel like, did it get brighter? Maybe? I don't know. Right, so we're scrolling into Berlin. And you get a sense that I feel like the quality in terms of picking out and actually looking at things is the same. It's just the brightness that's really massively different. And so that's coming from the screen itself, the actual hardware, not the interior hardware of the GPU or anything like that. That seems okay. A bit more flashy when you're zooming in and out. I won't do that too much. Let's go over to the desert again. Let's get a fine look at that sand. It looks good. It's not that much of a noticeable difference. The terrain looks good, but I feel like it looks a bit more realistic in terms of this kind of gives me like a nice plume and green, whereas if we go back over to this one over here and then zoom on in, we get a bit more faded colors where like the fields are damaged or going through drought or something like that. I feel like this one makes it feel a bit more real rather than nice and lovely and all green. Don't know, personal opinion. Right then, let's see what the sound is going to be like. So this is going to turn the sound on here. He says, I've got the right sound thing selected. Yeah? Right, there we go. Oh, right, we just ran it to the 10th. There's a war brewing as well. Oh, there it is. So you guys should be able to hear now. That's quite loud. Alright, I'm going to turn that off because I don't know if that music's copyrighted. Probably should have done this with a less likely copyrighted thing, but we're going to now turn the volume on here. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if that's because it's a different song. But that feels cool. This one feels quieter. I don't know if it's because it's a different song though. So let me. How do you? I don't even. Right. Okay. So how do I just choose a song? So right now I'm on this song. Strauss E9, whatever that is. Alright, let's see how that sounds. Does it not play? Ooh, I don't know if that's playing or not. Alright. Sunrise over London. Okay. So that's what that sounds like. This one called Sunrise over London. With the violins and everything playing. Hopefully you guys can hear that. I'm going to bring my microphone a bit closer so you guys can hear it a bit more. Alright. Okay. Let's try it over here now. Let's see if I can get the same song somehow. Sunrise over London. Alright, so we're looking for Sunrise over London. Oh. Buckingham Palace. The thing is, if I go past it, I'm kind of screwed. I don't know how many... I don't actually know how many different songs, because obviously we've got the mods, we've got... Oh, there it is, Sunrise over London. Right, bring myself closer. This is definitely louder. This is louder and more bassy as well, more like oomph in it. That's a bit disappointing. Alright, well, it seems like new is brighter, with obviously it's got a better graphics card in it, so it's going to look a bit better. But old is louder, and the sound quality is just better. That is really interesting. Really interesting. I wonder if there's anything I can do about that, any drivers or something I need to install, because funny story, when I was doing this, you guys should know that yesterday the SSD heatsink, so the one with the heatsink on, you'll notice that it's not included in the links of last week's video. That's because it's the wrong SSD. I had to buy a new one from Amazon, which came the next day after that video was recorded. And then it's only on that day that I'm recording this video and set up the actual laptop. So I've had to leave the laptop sat there, not do anything with it for an entire day, which was painful. In that time I soaked my sorrows in FIFA. As you can see, I've got quite the team. Yeah, I got the Ultimate Edition because it was actually cheaper to get the Ultimate Edition than the normal edition on the PlayStation Store. I don't know. But yeah, I've got a ridiculous team. Wow. Best team I've ever had. But yeah, so I spent all day doing this. It's like 3 PM now. And I got the SSD at 9:30, I want to say. So you see how long it's taken to get to the point of even booting up again and getting this video recorded. It was a very long time to get to that point. That wasn't because the laptop was bad. It was a few things, you know. I think I installed a bad version of Windows 11 because the Wi-Fi driver didn't work, which meant I had to then take the laptop and then plug it in through Ethernet, which obviously is faster, but because it's where my router is, it's not easy to get the Ethernet into this room. So the laptop was outside this room, which then made me forget about it whilst I was playing FIFA, thinking, oh, this is going to take a long time to set up Windows. It didn't. So that took some time out. Then it was just going through so many updates. It updated when you were installing Windows. After Windows booted up and I started installing like Chrome and all my profiles and all my stuff, it then went through more Windows updates. It then went through a BIOS update. It then went through more Windows updates it got from the internet somehow, even though I already checked for more Windows updates, and then it somehow pulled more from the internet. And then to top it all off, the audio driver was not installed. Like, it was not there at all. Not that it wasn't working, it wasn't there. The only reason I knew it wasn't a hardware problem was that when you go through the boot menu, it makes the boot up noise. You know, every laptop normally has a boot up noise, every computer does. Not the Windows one I'm on about, the actual system boot up noise. So that's how I knew the hardware was actually working. Obviously I could have done a hardware test, but thankfully I didn't have to. And then it was just a pain to install the driver. And then NVIDIA had to do its updates, OBS had to do updates, DaVinci Resolve had to do updates. It was just a bloody nightmare. It has taken me a lot of time to get this done. So what's it, 9:30 till 3? So what's that like? 5 hours. That is like a full day. It's almost 8 hours to get this laptop to the point of I'm actually playing a video game on it. Obviously I had to do all my OBS settings to make sure that, and then I've still got to wipe all this laptop. I've still got to wipe all this one here behind me, so that I've got to wipe it all and my plan is to log out of everything first, wipe it, and then just do a clean install, and then I'll have to do install of Windows again onto the old SSDs, which I don't even know how I'm gonna do that. So that might take a while. If you're wondering why I don't know how I'm gonna do it, considering I just did it for that one, it's because I turned the RAID system off. If you don't know what RAID is, it basically allows you to have more than one drive. Normally, I think it's actually always two. You can have two drives of either the same size or different sizes acting as one whole drive. Meaning, you don't need to worry about where your data is stored, whether it's stored on either drive. It just acts as one thing for you when you're actually using the laptop or machine. So what I mean by that is, let's say you have two 1 terabyte sticks. It will show us 2 terabytes in your drive and as one block of 2 terabyte, not two individual 1 block, 1 terabyte storage things when you're using it. The problem with that is RAID is risky. Even though it's faster, it's risky because if one drive fails, not only does the other drive not work for you, you lose all your data because of the way it stores data randomly. It doesn't know where the data is. So it can't go, oh, well, some of the data was stored there, that's lost, some of the data stored here, so we keep that. It can't do that. So I need to kind of set that back up. I don't know how to, so it'll be a difficulty. Right, now back on with the comparisons then. Let's actually run them then. So I think we've got a war brewing over here as well. Looks like there's some of the natives are rising up in Africa where we're trying to colonize them. So we should be able to see that here. Right, how are they running? So we're at the 10th of April. Let's get to 10th of April over here as well. Let's see. Different events might happen that kind of block us. But, oh no, that happened again. Cool. Right, so at the 10th of April on both of them now. We're going to see how long it takes to get to the end of the month and do an autosave, because that's what should happen. So we're going to see how fast it takes to get to the end of the month and do an autosave. And we're going to do that with a good old-fashioned timer. So let me get a timer up, stopwatch up. So that's the stopwatch, right? This is going to be, how am I going to, right, hold on. How am I going to do this? Right, I'm not going to show you this. I'm going to press start somehow at the same time. This is going to be tricky. No, you guys need to see this, otherwise it's pointless. Right, okay. This is going to be difficult, right. This isn't the best test in the world because I'm going to be doing it and then pressing at the same time. So, 3, 2, 1, start, press. Right. Let's go up here so you guys can see the timer. How long is it going to take? Oh. Is it the autosave? It's passing. There we go. 14, less than 15 seconds. Okay. So 1572 is what I pressed there. We're now going to stop that. Before it got to the next month, 1572 seconds. So 15 seconds and 72 milliseconds in the year 1875, where my population is over 100 million. The population of the game, I don't actually know what the world... What's the world... I don't know what worldwide population is, but Victoria 3, once you get to the 1870s with most mods, and if you've used mods and cheats or anything like that to increase your population, starts to get slow and boggy. And you'll start noticing it's just bad. Especially when you get up to the 1900s, if you even get there. So let's now see what that's like on the old machine. Let's see what difference is. We're in April 10, 1875. Let us see what it's like. So we're going to do a reset. 1572 was the last time. Right, 3, 2, 1, start, press. Alright. There's the timer. There's the ones. Let's get into April. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Well, well, well. That is interesting, ladies and gentlemen. I'd say that was faster. The old has beaten the new. Oh wow, that wasn't the most fairest test in the world, but I wasn't that slow. I'd say I was probably slower pressing the start button on this one than that one. The old beats the new in the speed test. Now I'm thinking that's down to the CPU performance. Wow. Wow. Because it really is neck and neck. If you look online, you look at all the stats and all the numbers that I don't understand, you'll see that the Ultra 9 versus the 1400, 900 series it's so neck and neck in all the areas. You'd think this one would win with all its increased power, its better GPU, but no, it's almost a second difference in getting there and passing the autosave as well. And that's really interesting considering this one has a faster read-write speed with the new 4TB drive that I put in this one compared to that one. And this 4TB drive is more or less empty compared to this one. Wow. Wow indeed. I didn't see that coming. Now it's not the most fairest test in the world, but it is one of the closest tests I could think of. A real world comparison where exact same start date, exact same save, exact same game, and do a run for it. Let's see what happened. Wow, that is interesting. Damn. Well, it's not like I wanted to upgrade. I had to upgrade because of things we went over in the last video with the wiring issues in this laptop. That is the old one, the 2024 one. That's why I'm sending it back to Amazon. And that's why I've got this new one. So it seems new and shiny isn't all that it's cracked out to be. Now, again, it's not the best test in the world. Okay, I'm sure if I did like benchmarkings and stuff, this one would come out higher. I'm sure of it. I've seen people do a comparison on YouTube before, but I've always never really liked those videos. This comparison test where they show you the bigger numbers. I prefer real world, in the moment use of it. And that's why I went for the same game, the same start date, same save, same country, same situation with both laptops, same time, do it. So hopefully that was somewhat informative or somewhat comparative in which laptop is doing what. This one definitely is brighter, it looks better, feels nicer, but it's quieter and potentially slower. So, which one should you get? If you were to have either no laptop or a very old laptop and you wanted a super powerful gaming machine, I would say, honest to God, even with all the charging issues that I've had with it, looking at it on paper and the cost of each one versus the other, the 2024 one right now is $3,666, I think, on Amazon, if you still get it on Amazon. I think that's the price I saw, but I couldn't remember if it was out of stock or not. Obviously, the links to both laptops will be down below. I would get that one because it is a grand cheaper and it's just, the 490 mobile is a ridiculously powerful GPU. You do not need to spend the extra grand almost to get the new one. That being said, the new one comes with 64 gigabytes of RAM, whereas the old one doesn't. They both come with the same storage still, but the RAM difference, that one comes with 64 RAM already as standard. That one doesn't on Amazon. So I would say do take that into consideration. But if you don't care about RAM, and to be honest, a RAM upgrade is what? I think getting 64 gigs of RAM can't be too much more than £100 on Amazon. Just do that. It saves you a lot of money, and you don't necessarily need the power of the 590. So that's my verdict. That's what I'm gonna say, because I don't like people who just wishy-washy. I would say get that one. The reason that I've got this one is because the charging issues have made me a bit bitter taste in my mouth for getting that again, because it would have saved me money. I would have sent it back and got it cheaper. But I was like, no, I've got an opportunity to get the most powerful again. I'm going to take it. Is it the best financial decision? Probably not. But is it an awesome laptop? Hell yeah. Plus it's got a different charging wire, so hopefully it won't break this time. I wonder if there's a reason they've changed the charging wire completely, because they could have just changed the brick. If they needed more power, they could have just changed the brick. I wonder why they've made the wire a tad bit thicker and a square shape compared to the old design. I wonder. So do take that into consideration, the wire troubles I had, and of course the less RAM. But otherwise, I'd say yeah, get 2024 model. It's seriously still a very powerful laptop and a contender up there as one of the most powerful gaming machines you can get on the go, because it's a laptop. But it's also kind of a desk replacement, really, isn't it? Since you got to plug it in all the time. Right then, so hopefully over the fan noise you'll be able to hear me over. And as the fans continue to blow away, I've got some laptop surgery to do, and I'm going to try finish that up as quick as possible so I can actually enjoy playing on my new laptop. And yeah, hopefully this was a good video. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, editing an outro here because again, this video was recorded just before the rebrand. So I was saying since I've vlogged, since I've played all that sort of stuff. But it's DragonWolf Unveiled here. Oh, it's DragonWolf as my new persona. Yeah, for verdicting on the laptops, get last year's. If you're going for a straight upgrade, you've not got a gaming laptop of any compatible things, go for last year. I say if you've got anything less than the 390 in your laptop or PC, and you want a desktop replacement, or you want a laptop of, super power laptop, a desktop replacement laptop, basically, a mobile computer more or less, go with 2024 edition. If you've got a 390, then, and you've got the money, of course, jumping up to the 490 may not make so much sense as jumping up to the 5090. So I would say do that. Otherwise, yeah, playing video games on it, I think the 1400 probably does you a bit better. But if you're doing, anything other than that, and you actually want to use it on the go for any sort of substantial time, my own testing since recording the video, it does last a bit on the battery. Even doing a bit of intensive activities, it does last twice as long. My experience was with the 2024 one. If you have it off battery and you boot up a game like Victoria 3, you got 30 minutes before it goes, help, where is my electricity? Whereas with the 5090, if you've got an hour almost, maybe more, and certainly more sustainable average of an hour if you lower the settings. So yeah, take with that as you may. That's my verdict. You got an old machine or no machine, get the 4090. Got a slightly newer one, and you want a big upgrade again, go with the 5091, the newer model, the 2025 edition of the ASUS Strix Scar. But both look beautiful, feel good keyboards, great laptops. Just got to be careful of the wiring with the 2024 edition. Right, hope you enjoyed. Please do like, comment, subscribe down below. Hit that bell to keep this channel going. And of course, until next time, love you and leave you. Check out all the socials down below. Other than that, peace.